Yo YouTube. Today is going to be a refresher video for many of you. Others, it's been a video that's been highly requested. So I thought I would do a newer version, if you will, of this video on how I pack orders to ship. So I get the question a lot because I sell cards cheap with free shipping. Well, how do you make any money, and how do you ship it and make sure it gets there, and so on and so forth. And it's actually pretty simple. I did want to update this video anyway because now I have the thermal printer here, which is definitely a game changer. It saves you even a few more pennies per order when you ship. So I wanted to make sure that I got that in the video as well. So what you'll see here on the main screen is my my eBay account is up, and I have a couple orders that I have to ship right away. These are actually a little past due. I had some trouble locating one of the cards, and then I also messaged the buyers because I was going to be out of town all weekend and I really couldn't work on it, so they were both okay with it shipping a little bit late. But normally I would do everything in the morning, but I wanted to do it tonight since, like I said, it's already behind. But that happens. Very rarely, but it can happen. Alright, so I've got two orders here I want to show you. This first one is a 2-card order. So these are all just both happen to be vintage, but so I've got this 77 John Cappelletti and 77 Topps Richard Todd going in one order, and then I have a single card order of this Jack Ham card. So we got $6 for the 2 cards here, essentially $5.98, and then $2.99 for this other card. Now we want to ship this with tracking, and we want to do it standard envelope delivery, which is an eBay service for card sellers. So essentially we want to print the postage through eBay because we get it for the discounted price, and they'll add a tracking service to it. Now with a single card, it's pretty simple. You have your single card in a top load here. I always put a little piece of masking tape. So you just rip off a little piece about that big, tape it over the top to hold the card in real nice. Barely costs anything. These little skinny rolls of tape cost about $1, and this, I kid you not, will last me like 6 months of taping cards because I don't use very much of it at a time. So essentially no cost. All my top loads come from lots I've bought or dollar box purchases, whatever. I take all the cards out of the top loads with whatever I buy. They go in my drawer as the sleeved singles, and then as I pull cards to fill orders, then they go in a top load and ship out. That way I never run out of top loads. Unless it's, of course, like more than a dollar box card, then I would top load it if it had a higher value. But anyway, so this Jack Ham card is essentially ready to go. So what we're going to do here is I'm going to click on Purchase Shipping Label. So by the way, I'm in the Awaiting Shipment tab in the My Seller, or in the Selling screen. So if you're at the top of your login here, go under My eBay, go under Selling, and then under Selling there's a little tab here that says Awaiting Shipment. So that's where I spend most of my time when I'm logged into eBay on here. I have some other orders to ship too, of course, that I got today. But anyway, so right here there's this little link that says Purchase Shipping Label. So that's what you want to click. Now when I list my cards, I list them that they're going to be shipped at the eBay delivery service. So that's what defaults when it comes up. So I've got here eBay standard envelope. You can see right there is my service. That's the service that the buyer selected because that's what I offer when it's under $20 purchase. Then they give you some maximum measurements and stuff like that, but you don't come anywhere near those, so not a big deal there. And then I'm going to click this Show More tab because this shows me my print format. So it standardizes to a 4x6 but on a full sheet when you are printing in the default settings. So you have to change it to the 4x6 printer so that when you're using the thermal printer, it prints on the full thermal page. Otherwise you'll get like a little, it'll just come on like half of the sticker, which I showed in my thermal printer video. Okay, so anyway, so this is the beauty of it. I have it, when I listed the card, I had it listed exactly as how I wanted to ship it, weight, some dimensions. I go a little over on the dimensions just to make sure that we're going to fit. And then, so down here is where you purchase your shipping labels. Normally when I come in here and do enough of these, I don't even really have to look at any of this. I can look at the price, know that that's exactly what I would charge to ship one card. That's the price of eBay standard postage, which is a little less than the actual stamp cost. Then I click purchase shipping label. Very simple. My printer is already pre-selected, so it's ready to go. So once it actually buys my label here, I don't have to click anything. It automatically loads my printer. And there's what my full label will look like on this page when it comes through the printer. Okay, so this is my printer listed here, and I'll hit print, and you can see what that looks like. It all comes out there nice and perfect. Thermal printed right on there. So we tear that off, and there's our label. Alright, then we need to package our card. So we're going to take our card. I have business cards, so I always take a business card. So my business card has my YouTube channel and my eBay address on there, and then a simple QRC code you can scan to go right to it. And then my name and a little bit of, you know, kind of more of a professional look on the other side, my logo on the bottom. So I simply add that to the front of the card. Doesn't add any weight or thickness or anything that makes a difference. And then I seal it. So I'm a licker. I know a lot of people don't like to lick stamps, so you could simply get, you know, like a stamp wetter, or stamp blotter, whatever you want to call it, you know, and do it that way. But either way, that works. So now we've got our envelope. We have our label. Of course, the label is a peel and stick. So we're going to peel that off, and then I'm simply going to try to show this a little bit here. I make sure I stick it so that there's plenty of room off the top. I don't want the label to go over the top of the envelope. And then I simply fold the bottom crease around to the back side. Now I tape it where the envelope seals. I don't tape it on the front where you would normally label an envelope. And I do that on purpose, just because if, you know, if the glue lets go on the envelope, or someone wants to tamper with it, something like that, because they can kind of feel that it's a baseball card in there or whatever. I at least have some protection. They literally have to cut the label to get to anything in here, or actually damage the packaging. So that's how I ship a single card. So let's take a look at what happens if there's more than one card. So the premise doesn't change a whole lot just because you have more than one card, but go back to our orders screen here. So again, these are our pending orders. Now I'm going to go down to the bottom because I want to ship the oldest order first. So now I have these two cards here, Capoletti and the Richard Todd. They're going to ship out. Now since it's just two cards and they're thin old stock, thin stock paper cards from Topps, I simply put each one in a sleeve, put them back to back, and they fit perfectly in a top loader. Nice and safe. So you just got to get them in there and get those pushed in real nice so that they stay in there good. And then we're going to use our little piece of tape, of course, over the top. And then that one's ready to ship as well. Now, when I click on the purchase label, because this is where you're really going to start to make some profit, is where, especially if you're doing free shipping, is shipping multiple items at a time, because you're not paying for any shipping for that second item. It's just whatever the cost of it was. So I'm going to click on ship this order. Now it's going to automatically default to double my weight because it's looking at the weight of each card. However, there's nowhere anywhere near 2 ounces with 2 top space cards. So I need to change that to 1 ounce, and you'll see it change from 73 here to 53 here. So for the same price, I can ship these 2 cards as I did the other 1 card. Like I said, that's key if you want to try to make some money on some lower end stuff. Alright, we've got our standard envelope, everything else is applied there. And so we're going to go ahead and print this one. Okay, it does take a little bit to load, so usually what I do while the label is loading is I'll grab my envelope, and I'll grab my, grab my envelope, and I'll grab my business card, and I'll get the envelope all ready to go. Get that sealed up. And then just simply, once the label's ready to load, hit print, and here it comes. Alright, so we'll tear that off. Here's our label again. Doesn't look any different than the other one. We essentially printed the exact same label, just going on 2 cards this time. Get that centered as best you can. Cover up the sealed side of the envelope. And then you got that one ready to go. Now, how many cards can I ship in an envelope and use the standard eBay standard delivery? To me, the maximum is 12, and that's like regular size cards. Obviously, if they're thicker, that changes it, but let me take a little stack here. So here's just a stack of random cards. So if I take 2 stacks of 6, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of each, you can see what the thickness is there. That's key to stay under 1/4 of an inch with your packaging to meet the eBay standard requirements. Now, I've shipped out thousands of orders since the eBay standard program came out. I've never had one get returned for not enough postage. I've never had a customer contact me and say, hey, I had to pay up at the post office because you didn't put enough postage on there. So at this point, that's not something I worry about. I know that the way I'm doing it is correct and working. So you always want to sleeve anything. Actually, that's going to be too small, so this gives me a good opportunity to show these anyway. So to do 6 cards, what I do with that is, because a regular size sleeve is too small for 6 cards, so I always have a pack of thick sleeves. They cost a little bit more, at least at my local shop they do. They cost a little bit more than the regular ones, but again, you can fit 6 cards, or actually even a little more than that, depending on what you're doing. But I can easily fit my 6 cards in this thick sleeve. So I'm going to go ahead and put those in this sleeve. Alright, so there is half of our order. So again, we're assuming it's a 12 card order because I feel like that's the max. Okay, then I've got my other 6 cards here. So I need one more thick sleeve. Alright, so my other 6 cards go into this sleeve. So there we go. We can ship 12 cards. They're under 1/4 of an inch. Now, how do you package these 12 cards together and ship them in an envelope? So this is how I do it. So for this, I use semi-rigids because we want to make sure we stay under that width in the envelope size. And the other key part to these is it's easy to fit 6 cards in it. They slide in there real easy. So what I do is I put the 1 pack in here. I put the 2nd pack in the other one. So this saves you some money too, because you just have the 2 holders that you're putting all the cards in. And then what I do, let's see if I can pan this down a bit here. Then what I do is I sort of turn them front to back. So they each have this, lip on the top here. So I basically overlap the 2 lips in the center. Because on these, that's going to be your weakest point. This has, some a nice thick pile of cards, but this part here is flexible. So this gives you a nice sturdy frame along the entire package. So what I do with that is I tape that, and I'm just going to do a quick little taping here to show you. Obviously these aren't cards I'm actually shipping, so I'm not printing a label or anything for this, just showing an example of how I do this. And then you need a big envelope for this, which still fits in the eBay standard requirements. So we have this package here. I would still use a business card, and then they fit in here real nice. So you slide this whole package in there with the business card. You'd seal it up, and you got a nice solid envelope that fits in the eBay standard delivery program. It is less than 1/4 of an inch thick, and just as simple to apply your label as it is the smaller envelope. Now this does weigh more. So I found out when you get to, I would say when you get to 6 or 7 cards, you start hitting over an ounce. Maybe a little bit more than that, 8 cards or so. Anyway, definitely at 12 cards, and then the 2 holders and the bigger envelope, it adds enough weight that you're over 2 ounces. So you have to purchase a 2-ounce label. So instead of 53 cents, it costs you 73 cents to send 12 cards. So that's basically it. That's what I do. And then leave feedback for your customers, things like that, as far as your best practices stuff. But as far as the eBay standard shipping, it works great. Been using it for a long time, have had no problems with it, and it's definitely the most economical way to do it. If you look at a top loader, a piece of tape, a sleeve, the label you print, the envelope, the stamp, you're looking at maybe, well, I essentially don't pay for the top loads because I get them with the card, so we won't include that. Penny sleeves are a penny, obviously, if you really have to buy one. If you don't have any laying around, envelopes are about 2 cents a piece. I get a box of 100 of them for $1, I want to say $1.88 or $1.82, something like that, at Walmart in my area. So I'd say they're 2 cents, maybe a little less than that. The labels, the printing labels for the thermal printer are 2 cents a piece. And I think that's about it. Masking tape, I'm not even going to count. It's $1 for that roll, and I can do thousands of packages with it, so it's way less than a penny. So you've got your 53 cents for the stamp, you've got 2 cents for the label, so that's 55 cents. This is free. You got a penny sleeve, that's 56 cents. So let's say 58 cents, just to account for a few maybe minor expenses that I didn't count. But anyway, pretty cheap to send a card. So if you count those expenses and then you count the 12% for the cost of eBay when your item sells, that's your expense in that shipment. So if you like this video, please leave a like. If you have any comments, please leave comments. I'd be happy to answer them or answer any questions. Have debates. Do you not think this is a good program? Do you think do you still not believe there's any way to make any funds on it? Whatever it is, let me know. I'm happy to hear from you. But that's it for this video. Thanks again so much.